Welcome back to our channel, where we dive deep into the heart of family dramas and the challenges that come with blending families. Today's story takes us through the roller coaster journey of a woman named Lisa, who marries a widower with 2 grown children. Despite her best efforts to build bridges, Lisa faces a wall of coldness and resentment from her stepchildren. As tensions rise and emotions run high, she finds herself caught in a web of misunderstandings and financial stress. Have you ever felt like an outsider in your own family, struggling to find acceptance and peace? Or perhaps you face the heartbreak of watching your loved ones drift apart over misunderstandings and unmet expectations. If so, stay tuned, because Lisa's story might just resonate with the struggles you faced and the solutions you seek.
So, I, 38F, have been married to my husband, Rob, 52M, for 4 years now. Rob's late wife, Sarah, passed away a year before we met, and we dated for 2 years before tying the knot. Rob has 2 kids from his previous marriage, Madison, 28F, and Brett, 26M. I'm not calling them my stepkids because they explicitly told me I'm not their stepmom, just their dad's wife. Since I didn't play a part in raising them, I'm okay with that. The dynamics in our blended family have always been challenging. From the get-go, there was an invisible wall between Rob's kids and me. I understood that they were still grieving their mother's death when I came into the picture, and I tried to be sensitive to that. Being a child of divorce myself, I knew the complicated emotions that come with a parent moving on. So, I never forced a relationship, hoping that time and patience would bridge the gap. Despite my efforts to be kind and generous, Madison and Brett remained distant and cold. I'd invite them over for dinners, try to engage in their interests, and even offered help with various aspects of their lives. Yet, every attempt was met with a polite but firm resistance. They always kept me at arm's length, and while it hurt, I tried not to take it personally. After all, their loyalty to their mother and their father's past life was understandable. Recently, Madison got engaged to her longtime boyfriend, Mark. This was exciting news for everyone. Rob and I wanted to celebrate this new chapter in Madison's life, hoping it might be an opportunity to finally bond with her. We hosted an engagement dinner at our house, inviting family and close friends to share in the joy. The dinner was going well until Madison brought up the topic of the wedding budget. She asked Rob how much we could contribute. Rob, ever the straightforward person, told her that he could contribute $10,000. This amount was no small sum, especially considering our current financial situation. Madison's face fell, and it was clear she had been expecting more. She pressed Rob for a larger contribution, her frustration growing evident. Rob had to explain that he was still rebuilding his savings. Before his late wife, Sarah, passed away, their finances took a massive hit. Sarah's medical bills were astronomical, and Rob had exhausted his cash savings, cashed out his 401k, and even took out a second mortgage on the house to cover the expenses. After her passing, he had to switch to a lower-paying job with more flexibility to take care of their kids and manage the household. The fact that he was able to offer $10,000 was actually quite generous, given our financial landscape. During this conversation, Rob excused himself to run an errand, leaving me alone with Madison and Brett. Sensing an opportunity, Madison turned to me and asked if I would be contributing any money on top of what Rob had offered. I told her that Rob and I had discussed it, and we agreed that $10,000 was a reasonable amount to contribute. I thought that was the end of it, but Madison's next words were like a slap in the face. "I should have known," she said, her voice dripping with contempt. "You obviously married an older man for what he had, not for what you could give." I was floored. I knew Madison didn't like me, but this was the rudest thing she'd ever said. I felt a surge of anger and frustration. I'd always tried to be respectful and understanding, but this comment was too much. I snapped back, "Excuse me, who do you think has been paying the second mortgage your dad took out to pay his debts? Here's the truth. I make significantly more money than Rob. I have no debt, and I've been covering 70% of our household bills since we got married. The $10,000 we were offering Madison for her wedding was available because I've been subsidizing her father's living expenses for the past few years." I made it clear that not only am I not a gold digger, but I'm also wealthier than my older husband. Madison's face turned red with anger and embarrassment. She called me stuck up and stormed out of the house. Later, she called Rob and twisted the story, claiming I told her that her mother being sick was the reason she didn't have a better wedding budget. When Rob got home, I told him what really happened. He was furious with Madison for lying, but also told me I shouldn't have shared his financial details with his kids. It was a tough situation, and I felt torn between defending myself and respecting Rob's privacy. The days following the confrontation were tense. Rob and I had several discussions about boundaries, transparency, and the delicate balance of our blended family. He understood why I felt the need to defend myself, but reiterated the importance of keeping certain financial matters private. I agreed, but it didn't erase the sting of Madison's accusations or the ongoing Cold War between us. Madison's wedding planning continued, but there was a palpable strain in our interactions. She was polite but distant, and Brett followed her lead. I couldn't help but feel like an outsider in my own home, despite my efforts to bridge the gap. One afternoon, Brett came over to talk. He admitted that Madison had been unfair and that he didn't think I was a gold digger. He appreciated the financial support I provided for their father, even if he didn't fully understand our financial arrangement. This conversation gave me a glimmer of hope that maybe, just maybe, things could improve. Brett's admission was a small victory, but it didn't completely mend the rift. I continued to navigate the complexities of our blended family, hoping that time would heal the wounds and that Madison would come to see my genuine intentions. Just as things seemed to be settling down, a new challenge emerged. Rob started experiencing health issues, and the stress of the past few years seemed to be catching up with him. I found myself juggling work, household responsibilities, and now caring for Rob. It was overwhelming, but I was determined to be there for him. Madison and Brett, despite their feelings towards me, were concerned about their father's health. This common concern brought us together, if only temporarily. We worked as a team to ensure Rob received the best care possible. It was during this time that I saw a different side of Madison and Brett, a side that cared deeply for their father and was willing to put aside their differences for his sake. One evening, as Rob rested, Madison approached me. She apologized for her earlier behavior and admitted that she had been unfairly harsh. She explained that losing her mother had been incredibly difficult, and seeing her father move on was a challenge she hadn't been prepared for. We had a long, heartfelt conversation, and for the first time, I felt like we were on the same page. Madison's apology was a turning point. It didn't erase the past, but it opened the door for a more understanding and respectful relationship. We started working together on wedding plans, and though there were still moments of tension, there was also a growing sense of cooperation and mutual respect. As the wedding day approached, Madison and I found ourselves bonding over the details. We talked about flowers, dresses, and seating arrangements. These moments, though small, helped build a bridge between us. I shared stories about my own wedding and offered advice where I could. Slowly but surely, the ice began to thaw. Rob's health improved, and with it, our family dynamics started to stabilize. Brett also warmed up to me, and we found common ground in our concern for Rob and our desire to support Madison's big day. Madison's wedding day arrived, and it was a beautiful, joyous occasion. Seeing her walk down the aisle, radiant and happy, made all the tension and challenges worth it. Rob and I stood together, proud and emotional, knowing that we had overcome so much to be there. After the ceremony, Madison thanked me for everything I had done. It was a simple gesture, but it meant the world to me. It signified a new chapter in our relationship, a chapter built on understanding, respect, and a shared commitment to family. Life after the wedding returned to a new normal. The bonds we had formed during the wedding planning process continued to strengthen. Madison and I weren't best friends, but we had a newfound respect for each other. Brett and I also found a comfortable rhythm in our interactions. Rob and I continued to work on our marriage, always striving to balance our needs with those of his children. It wasn't always easy, but it was worth it. Our experiences had taught us the importance of communication, patience, and empathy. Reflecting on the journey, I realized how much we had all grown. The challenges had brought us closer, teaching us valuable lessons about family, love, and resilience. Madison's wedding had been a catalyst for change, and though the road had been rocky, it had ultimately led us to a better place. Looking forward, I felt hopeful about the future. Our family, though blended and imperfect, had found a way to coexist and support each other. We had learned that love and understanding could overcome even the deepest of rifts. In the end, the story of our blended family is one of growth and transformation. From the initial tension and misunderstandings to the eventual bonding and mutual respect, we navigated a complex journey together. The challenges we faced made us stronger and more united. For anyone in a similar situation, my advice is to remain patient and compassionate. Blended families come with their unique set of challenges, But with time, effort, and understanding, it's possible to build meaningful connections. Our story is proof that even the most strained relationships can evolve into something beautiful. Thank you for listening to our journey. It's been a roller coaster, but one filled with valuable lessons and ultimately love.
Spending more quality time with your family is essential to strengthening bonds and creating lasting memories. In such a busy world, it's easy to disconnect from the people we love. However, dedicating special moments to activities together can solve problems such as lack of communication and feelings of disconnection. By prioritizing quality time, families can break down barriers, just like Lisa and her stepchildren did. It opens up channels of communication, fostering understanding and empathy. Shared experiences and activities create a sense of unity and belonging, helping to heal old wounds and build new, positive memories. This can turn tense family gatherings into cherished moments, filled with laughter and love. If Lisa's journey taught us anything, it's the transformative power of quality family time. That's why we've put together a comprehensive ebook that dives deep into practical, effective ways to create these special moments with your loved ones. From fun activities to meaningful conversations, this guide is your key to building a closer, more connected family. Don't let misunderstandings and disconnection rule your home. Take action now and invest in your family's future. Click the link below to purchase our ebook and start your journey towards a happier, more united family today. We'd love to hear your thoughts, reactions, and ideas about today's story. Did any particular character steal your heart? Were you nervous about a surprising plot twist? Or perhaps you have your own theories about what might happen next. Whatever it is, don't hesitate to share. Remember to keep all comments respectful and constructive. We value diverse opinions and perspectives. Positive vibes only. Let's spread positivity and encouragement in our community. Kind words can make all the difference. Your voices matter, and we can't wait to hear what you have to say. Let's continue this journey together as we celebrate the magic of storytelling. Thank you for being part of our community.